Harold James Keane.
Yeah, that's my formal. Yeah, that's my professional name today.
So what do we read into that then after day one of competition, that you've gone from Barry Clean, which is your angry alter ego, to full name, posh sounding Harold?
Yeah, to my public school boy roots, yeah. I just thought I'd mix it up. I just keep everyone guessing. I don't know what my name's going to be on the third day, so I'll have to think of something.
I feel like if you just have the same appearance, though, it kind of ruins the mystique a bit. You've got to come in disguises, I think, as well, mate.
Maybe. Well, I would cut my hair, but there's not much to cut anymore, so.
No, you're struggling a bit there, mate. So before we go into the detail, day one done. Can you describe it to me in one word before we delve in?
One word, yeah, okay. Accuracy, I suppose, is probably the name of the game for today. We pick workouts intentionally that you would want to be a bit fresher on, and it was probably a little bit less about getting in the bin and a bit more about executing things really well. So we did the front squat workout today, and then we did the 100 like chipper style thing with the wall balls, toaster bar, and rowing. And I'm actually more sore than I thought I would be, but like the load of those workouts isn't huge. So it's kind of like get those done while everyone's fresh to kind of lift heavy, move fast. And then tomorrow is going to be a bit of a scramble. It's going to be tough, but it's got to get tough at some point. So that's it, really.
So, yesterday when you talked about that one in particular of the 100, what was it, 100 wall balls, 100 toaster bar, 100 cal row, and then back up. You said obviously the execution of that was massively important. So describing one in one word you called today accuracy. Was those transitions and everything that you talked about yesterday, were they on point and everything that you wanted from them?
The warm up really was getting because we have me and Helen here every single day, and then the other two obviously come and train most weeks, but they weren't in the same geographical location. It was kind of like finish the front squat, then before we cooled down, we just got those guys straight into a cycle of drills, basically to get them dialed in on the pace that things need to be. Because say pair A finishes you're working concurrently at the same time. So one pair finishes their wall balls, you can't move on to the toaster bar till the other pairs finish their wall balls yet. And it's the same with each movement. So it was really important that we basically got the reps per minute in the pairs dialed in, basically calculating who needs to do more work just because they can move faster, and also getting that synced up. And then also is the person who moves faster going to be capable of maintaining that pace for more work, pretty much. And that's what we did before that one. And we finished it, and there was a few no reps in there, and there was a little bit of time where you're waiting for one pair to catch up, but like we're talking about a few seconds here and there. So in reflection of it, we're kind of like, can you go faster? Because it's so many reps that we could do it again, and you're kind of just hoping that, say you're going to do it again, like the fatigue isn't an element, and also you don't make any mistakes, and the margin of mistakes or mistiming was relatively small anyway. So I think it would be quite hard to make that up again, really.
Yeah, and given, I guess, the fact that like you said, you're a bit more sore from it than you anticipated, it's a bit of a gamble.
Yeah, it's because it's like that workout, you could cruise through it and it like not even touch the sides, because if you split it in half, it's only like 100 wall balls, 100 toaster bar, and it's like everyone does that in training all the time. So if you just kind of moved through it, you'd be like, oh yeah, like that was a bit of a sweat, like Super Saturday workout with the class or something like that. And afterwards I was getting like a bit of cramp in my legs just from like on the like wall balls, which are relatively low resistance, like pushing every single rep, just trying to move as quick as possible. Which I actually think like it's a sneaky workout because of that, because it's like you can just do it, or like you can like make it like try and make it hurt as much as you can and just really try and push the limits in terms of how fast you can go. So I'll be really interested to see how that comes out at the end. Like, it's hard to get a gauge. We don't have, like I said before, we don't have anyone's scores. The information game is the most difficult it's been this year, just because it's a global leaderboard, so no one's sharing scores. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how that stacks up. But I think in terms of what we can do, we probably push the limits, and the strategy and things like that was all about right.
So, like, you know, when you've got a workout like that, when even though it's like 2 sub pairs, but all 4 of you in essence working together, and the beauty of the workout and getting it right is, like you said, not too much rest almost. Like, how do you sort of manage that from a strategic point of view when you're all going to have very different strengths within the 4 of you? Is it just based off whoever's, I don't mean to say the poorest, because I'm sure you're not, any of you are shit at anything, but, you know, like, is it basically the slowest at each movement, you pace off them and then the rest just do the rest? Or do you try and like drag them along?
The way that we had it was more like, who moves the quickest? And we're like, okay, sorry, you're getting it on this workout. Like,
okay.
That's like, you've been cursed with quick movement. So it's kind of like the rower, right? Like, the guys, because guys are just more powerful on a rower, unfortunately, you've got to do a lot more of the rowing. And it's kind of like, with each of those movements, the person that's slower, when they're going, they're trying to go as fast as they can, but they're just facilitating the recovery for the person who moves quicker, who needs to then do more of the work. Which is it's like an odd thing. And I think what it's testing, and the absolute perfect team in the world for it, is the team that's got like 4 people that are all basically exactly the same athlete, who are obviously good at those. They're good at those movements, and then they can all match each other and they all move similarly in similar speeds. Like, if you could have the perfect team for that, that's what it's going to look like. Whereas other workouts, it might actually suit having a team that's a little bit less balanced. So then you can push different areas and things like that. Cause like I'm trying to think of an example, but like, there's a workout last year with a load of barbell cycling in quarterfinals, like deadlifts and shoulder to overhead. And it's like, we actually don't want 2 athletes that are exactly the same. You want one who's really good at shoulder to overhead and one who's really good at deadlifts. And then you can kind of specialize in that area, move faster. You know, they've got more capacity, so you can do that. So some workouts suit a less balanced team. Some workouts suit a very well balanced team. I'd say our team probably isn't super balanced. Like, people cover each other's weaknesses or limitation areas. There's obviously a point where if you are super unbalanced, you're going to run into a lot of problems. But I think in the long run and across most workouts, you basically need everyone at a level, and then everyone needs that little bit of X factor that they can each bring that's a little bit different. So, for example, like the front squat today, I think we did as well as we could on that. Everyone hit competitive good weights, but then it's like, Helen's an absolute weapon on front squats. She's got the X factor. So she's bringing it on that one. That's going to kind of push you into that upper echelon, hopefully. Everyone's always getting a lot stronger and a lot better, but that's kind of how I look at that workout. And it's the same with different workouts. Different people are going to be able to bring it in different ways.
So, you know, on that strength one in particular, then, is that one of those where, like, the guys, the top end's going to be relatively similar, but the women, there could be quite a significant jump between the
I actually don't know, because it's getting like, people are getting pretty freaky now. Like, I wouldn't be, I don't know, like, because my strength does increase year to year, but it's not like a thing that I work on particularly. And my numbers become much more of a regular thing you see than maybe like 4 years ago. And I wasn't even as strong 4 years ago, you know, so I'm not sure what you'll see. Like, people are just getting more freaky, and the team division's getting more freaky as well. Like, in terms of, you see shit and you're just like fair enough. Like, we do have a little bit of info from another team, and I obviously won't say who that is because it'll untap the well if they find out. But like, we're hearing their score. I think they probably just beat us on the front score, and it's like, fair play. Like, that doesn't change anything for us. We're not going to do more because of that. So.
And there's no gamesmanship in there. They're not just putting a few extra kg on for you so that you try and redo.
So they give you fixed weights that you had to hit. There's basically a weight chart, and it's a weight chart, and you can only go at the prescribed weights they want. I'm assuming it's to avoid the pound to kilo conversion, and it's kind of like you could probably quite comfortably hit one weight and you look at the next one and it's like, is this a realistic jump I can make, or is it too much of a risk? And obviously if one person misses one of their lifts, you're pretty much going to have to reset and start again, because it's the total score from all 12 lifts across 4 people. So I think it kind of just depends where you fall on the weight chart, and there's a little bit of that as well, because it's like, say that you're comfortable hitting a certain weight, but then the next weight up is like not above your max, or it's like maybe like just below or something like that. It's like you probably could, if you felt good, push for it. Whereas there'll be other circumstances that someone's hitting each rep and it's feeling good, but then the next jump's like a 9 kilo jump to above their max, and it's like, it's not probably worth it if it were to go awry. But in these kind of like accumulative scores across teams, it's about, like I said, like everyone hitting a competitive level. And then if you've got the person with a bit of X factor, it's like, yeah, like you got to go. We're going to prioritize you on this, because that's what's going to win this workout. That's what's going to get the score.
Is there some form of tie break on that at all then? Because I guess
the tie break's quite interesting. So there isn't a max weight for girls, but the max weight that guys would go up to is 193. There will be some guys in the competition, I imagine, that can hit 193 for 3 reps. And the tie break is basically when you've completed all the lifts, your time is your tiebreaker. So you could have some people tying, and whoever just got all the work done the quickest did that. I can't actually remember where we finished. We didn't take it right up to the line, but we weren't worried about the tie break. It's like, if you've got people that are like, we're all maxing it out and we've got to just try and get it done as quick as possible against another team who's maxing it out, then yeah, you go for the tie break. But that wasn't really within our scope, I don't think.
Yeah, fair play. So tomorrow, what we're doing tomorrow?
So tomorrow we're doing clean and jerks, burpees, and then we're doing the dumbbell workout. So probably the 2 toughest workouts. And I think we've just stacked it this way because we wanted day 1 to kind of be like, make sure everything's accurate, do things that we need to be fresher for when we're fresh. And then Saturday's just going to be a bloodbath, really. Like, we're just going to get stuck in, and there's always logistics and complicated things and strategy, but I think a lot of it is just going to be like pushing the red line and just trying to like go as fast as possible. So we put those both in there, and then if there's energy for a redo on something that we think we can make time on, we'll get that in on Sunday, which I think the redo is probably going to be the dumbbell workout. Even if it goes well, I know like that workout, basically, if a team finishes it and they've gone through it clean, you've gone too slow.
Yeah.
If it goes to absolute shit, you've gone too slow. So there's a sweet spot in the middle where it's like the wheels are coming off, but you're close enough to the end. And I said to the guys, I was like, that's when someone needs to come in clutch and be like, fuck it, I'm going to take this extra bit of work to get us over the line. And then we finish like strong, even though someone's melted and they're in like a puddle on the floor, like someone else is picking up the work and you're getting it just over the line at the right time. So on that, the pacing is going to be like the thing. If you had a team where everyone is always in the same gym, all the time, because obviously like OJ and Kerry are pretty local, we train together all the time, but because they're here for 4 days, the end of this week we went together on like Monday, Tuesday. If you had everyone in exactly the same place, I would have hit that workout probably in its entirety or pretty close to on Tuesday, because then you get the rehearsal and you know when the wheels are going to come off. We obviously didn't have that luxury, which is fine, but it just means that it might have to be a double go at that one, and it's probably the most hanging workout out of all of them. So that's the game, though, isn't it? It's a suffer sport, so you got to be up for that.
Well, yeah, we've all, even at my level, when you do a workout that's sprinting, you're not quite fucked at end. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, you're going too slow, right?
Didn't do enough.
You've gone too slow. Like the wheel, you got to be right on the cusp. It's definitely one of those, like right on the precipice of failure.
Yeah. So, like tonight, you talked about being a little bit more sore than you thought you were going to be. How does recovery look like from today in order to get right for tomorrow?
Yeah, not. So we finished up quite early today. Probably like sometime in the afternoon, like 3 o'clock ish. So we basically cooled everyone down. We've got a warm up cool down protocol in place. So we're all doing like low intensity cool downs, like spinning on the bikes, and you need to consume at least 50 grams of carbs with the cool down. Then after that, we all kind of broke off into individual pieces just to like work on little bits of the body that need work. So get a little bit of soft tissue in anywhere that's tight. We have like a game ready in the gym, so it kind of like pumps cold water and ice like through like a sleeve. So it's a good bit of kit. I cracked that on my knee because I've had a little bit of a niggle in my knee going into this week, which has felt 100% today. But then after today, I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit pokey now, so it'll hold up. But so a bit of ice on that. And then this evening, we've literally just come back and we're just doing nothing. Like we're watching a bit of Wadland on the stream. We've just been eating food. Like I was saying to you yesterday, like you're eating for day 3. Like we're eating for that redo on Sunday evening. So we're just like keep eating, like whatever the fuck it is, just carbs, get it in, like because you'll feel fine tomorrow after today. It's after tomorrow that you're going to be feeling it. So that's kind of it really, and just trying to keep everything super chilled. Like today has been very chilled, not crazy amounts of stress. So I imagine that'll all kind of crank up tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. Right, mate. Well, I'm not going to keep you any longer because I want you to go and get fresh so you can, go on Call of Duty, I think, because that's what you were doing just before this. You forgot about me, didn't you? And you were just about to kill some children on Call of Duty. So I'll let you get back to that. Maybe Barry Clean on Call of Duty, mate.
Yeah, I don't. I try not to get on the mic with the general public on.
I can imagine you.
It's a really weird way to kind of relax because it's competitive at the same time. But I feel that I've got to do something to be a little bit engaged. But we'll probably just do that. We're about to eat some food, so yeah, I'll catch up with you tomorrow. I think the sentiment might be a little bit different. I'm feeling confident it's all going to go well, but maybe not quite as relaxed or sprightly. Yeah,
well, prepare your one word for tomorrow because I'll ask you the same thing again. And hopefully we'll get accuracy again.
Yeah, if fuckfest is one word, then that's probably what I'll say.
Awesome. Well, cheers for jumping on, mate. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Yeah, see ya.